Hello everybody, before we start the video, I just want to give a quick thanks to my gracious and generous supporters over on Patreon, to Anime Guy 01, Bookworm, Danish Faye, and Tommy Koistinen. Thank you so much for your continued support, and if any of you want to support me as well on my Patreon account, there's a link to it in the description below. Now, enjoy the video! Hello everybody, it's JohnnyFerno talking. Welcome back to the next reaction. This time around, I decided to go back to Pinkie Tales for a bit, just for some light-hearted banter and fun. I think that's what kind of like the Pinkie Tales videos has become for me. Just like the place where I go just to have a laugh and have fun and not really think about much, just enjoying what's played in front of me. And I also quickly want to say that in response to all the feedback I got on my reaction yesterday, as well as on my Twitter feed, you guys are amazing. The support that I've gotten from both some of my friends and some of you who answered and replied back to basically my tantrum yesterday. Just thank you all so much for all of your support. I am so grateful that I have such amazing friends watching me. And yeah, just thank you for being there. Thank you for your kind words. And someone made a picture I will show up here. I just appreciate so much that anyone would do this in general. So thank you a lot. I can't remember the owner right now, but I will put that up there as well. So thank you just so much. For all of your support, and even when I am when I really am just in a blind panic and everything, just because my brain, I work in very weird, stupid ways. But all of that is an entire different video. Now we're going to concentrate on something that's more lighthearted and fun. It is the Pinkie Tales of Little Red Riding Blue, which is of course the Pinkie version of the Little Red Riding Hood. For some reason, R is weird. But it's a classic tale. I wonder who's going to be the wolf. Like, obviously, Apple Bloom is going to be Riding Hood, but like, who's going to be the wolf? Who's going to be the hunter? Who's going to be Granny? Maybe it's actually Granny going to be Granny. Applejack. I guess that she'll be in there as well. I don't know what she'll play, but not much use trying to predict the video. I'm just here to have fun and to enjoy a good piece of fan art. Not literal art, but you know what I mean. Or actually, no, because there are a bunch of fan art stuff in here, so maybe I'm right, I don't know. Let's just get right to it. I want to see something cutesy, fun, and just enjoyable. Alright, so if you're ready, my dear friends, let us watch Pinkie Tales, Little Red Riding Blue. In 3, 2, 1, go.
Pinkie Tales, Little Red Riding Blue.
Little Red Riding Blue by Magpie Pony. Yes, quite.
You're going to love tonight's story, Poundin' Pumpkin. It's all about the adventures of a little filly, a terrifying wolf, and the proper use of cookware. Once upon a time.
In a small village just outside the city, there lived a pony
I haven't
called
heard him
Little
narrate
Red
much,
Riding
so this is
Blue.
gonna be fun.
She was given this nickname due to the fact that she never took off a little red cape that her granny had made.
Oh.
She did so to hide her blank flank from the other colts and fillies in her class. But after a while, she had grown accustomed to wearing it regardless of her cutie mark. One day, Little Red Riding Bloom's mother gave her a basket of apple treats to bring to her granny, who lived in another village on the other side of a thick forest. Although Little Red was a sweet filly at heart, she was known to get a little
Pinkie.
distracted, just like another certain pink pony who was chewing was interrupting the story.
Huh? What? Me? Oh, sorry. It's just that you made all those apple treats sound
Pinkie,
so
why are you eating in the
good,
recording room?
And I couldn't resist eating a few myself.
How did I make them sound good?
That was an
All I
obvious
said was
reference.
that she had a basket of treats.
Too easy.
Yeah, but it was the way you said it. All I could think about were apple pies and fritters and
Please don't make me hungry.
Apple muffins?
It's soon lunch.
Do they make apple muffins? If not, they should. That would be so delicious. And they would go great with the mug of cider, too. And
Can I get back to the story, please?
oh, sure.
Thank you.
Would be a nightmare
Now,
to deal with her.
Little Red Riding Bloom's mother instructed her to stay on the path and not stop for anything or any pony on her way. She warned her that the forest could be a dangerous place, especially for little fillies and colts.
If it's so dangerous, why is she letting her go into the forest on her own?
Because that's how the story goes, Pinkie Pie.
Yeah.
Well, if Applejack was here, she wouldn't let her go into the forest alone. Who knows what kind of mischief that little pony
Reminded me
could
of a bad
get into
episode.
in there.
Well, if you would let me continue the story, we might be able to find out.
Oh, sorry.
Into the woods, found a trail. I know it
Little
well.
Red Riding
Into the
Bloom
woods.
began her journey with a smile on her face and a skip in her step.
Sorry if I'll make some
She
Into the Woods
sang a merry
references.
little tune and reached into the basket, pulling out a delectable-looking and delicious-smelling apple pie.
Alright.
I'm sure Granny won't mind if I took a few bites of pie. To keep my strength going, of course.
Of course.
Little Red said to herself as she gobbled up a particularly large piece of pie. The smell of the pie and all the other pastries in her basket were beginning to attract a sizable crowd of forest animals, including the dreaded Big Bad Apple Wolf, who was known for her insatiable hunger for all things apple.
Hello,
Apple
little
Wolf was finishing her
girl.
last juicy apple when she spotted Little Red Riding Bloom. She gasped and leapt out from her hiding place to confront the little filly.
Apple Bloom, Little Red Riding Bloom, what tarnation are you doing so far in the woods on your own? Don't you know that there are dangerous creatures about?
Like you?
Little Red replied, taking a step away from the wolf.
I wish I knew more of the wolf song from Into the
Yes,
Woods.
like me. I'm a wolf for Celestia's sake. And do you know what wolves like to eat?
Apple pie?
Little Red said,
Oh.
holding out the remains of the apple pie she had been eating.
Aw.
No. Yes. I mean,
Apple Wolf started, taking the pie from Little Red and finishing it in one bite.
what I meant to say was, where are you headed, little filly?
I'm on my way
Remember
to
your
Granny's
script,
house with
AJ.
this basket full of goodies.
To Granny's house, you say? And
I will
where
be so
does
happy
your
if it's
granny
actually
live?
Granny that's inside.
She lives at the end of the forest path in a little old cottage surrounded by apple trees.
You don't say. And does your granny live with other ponies?
No, Granny lives alone. That's why I had to bring her this basket, you see.
So gullible.
She likes the sweets, and she likes the company too.
I'll bet she does. But you know, little filly, there are plenty of hours left in the day. What's your hurry?
Mama told me not to dawdle and stick to the path.
Did you just say dawdle?
Sorry, Miss Wolf, but I really should be getting on my way.
Apple Wolf paused and contemplated
Kind of a cool
her
design for
situation
Apple Wolf.
before she concocted the perfect plan to...
Question?
Yes, Pinkie.
Yes, Pinkie.
What's contemplated me?
It means to think.
Oh, okay.
Apple Wolf paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect...
Question?
Yes, Pinkie.
What's concocted mean?
It means thought up.
Oh.
We're gonna have
Can I
it.
get back to the story now?
Uh-huh.
Where's the
Apple
third
Wolf
one?
paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding Bloom.
Question?
What, Pinkie? Do you need to know what the word distract means?
Oh, I don't need to know what that means. I already know. It's when you can't stay focused. Like you're interrupted or something.
Mm-hmm.
You don't say. Didn't you have a question?
I did? Oh, I guess I forgot.
The rule of
Apple Wolf
three.
paused and contemplated her situation before she concocted the perfect plan to distract Little Red Riding Bloom from reaching Granny's house. Apple Wolf intended to get to Granny's before Little Red so that she could eat the apples from her yard and then
course.
finish off Little Red Riding Bloom's basket for dessert. After all, wolves have a rather large appetite. And Apple
Very
Wolf
PG
was
version.
no exception.
Makes sense.
Hey there, little Red. Have you noticed what wonderful flowers are bloomed in the meadow there?
Yeah? Why?
Well, don't you think Granny would like some flowers to go with her apple desserts?
How do you know they're all apple desserts, Apple Wolf?
It was just a guess. That pie you had was mighty tasty. But a pony can't live on pies and cakes alone, now can they? They gotta have all kinds of good things to eat. Like those daisies over there.
I guess that makes sense.
I like how you can
Good.
see that the apple,
It's
that the
simple.
wolf
Mustn't
outfit
dilly-dally
looks
now.
like a
Granny will be
costume.
wanting a
At least
fresh
to me, it looks like a
bouquet to go with
costume.
desserts. Oh,
Not only the nose and ears, but also
did
the
I
main
just
body.
say dilly-dally? Consarn it, storytellers. Stop putting words in my mouth.
Having been fooled by Applewolf, Little Red Riding Bloom disobeyed her mother's wishes and strayed from the path to pick some flowers in the meadow.
Into the
While
woods.
she did so,
Into
Applewolf
the
quickly
woods.
followed the path until she happened upon a little cottage on the other side of the forest.
Again, I wish I could
Her
remember
eyes
more of the
widened
wolf song.
when she saw that the group of apple trees surrounding the little house were bucked clean of apples. She growled, guessing that they had undoubtedly been harvested and now inside Granny's cottage. Applewolf approached the house and knocked on the door.
I will huff and I will puff! Sorry, that too.
Well, now,
It is Granny!
It's me, Little Red Riding Bloom.
Applewolf said, trying to imitate the little filly as best she could.
Your granddaughter, Little Red.
I have a granddaughter named Little Red.
That's who I am, Granny. Little Red.
No, I don't want any Philly Scout cookies. I've got plenty of apples in here, thank you.
Applewolf let out a frightening growl and bucked the door open. It crashed
Jesus.
into the wall loudly, but it did not seem to upset the old pony. Instead, she called out,
Who is it?
I'm getting mighty tired of this bit, Granny. Now, where are you keeping them apples?
Granny struggled to get out of her rocking chair and slowly made her way towards the kitchen before she gave Applewolf her answer.
Now, I've been growing and harvesting apples for many years, you darn varmint.
Sorry if I'm not saying much,
I'll
it's just
be corn swabbled if I
these
have
interesting
some
things
apple
happen.
thieving wolf take this here crop.
Who's writing the dialogue in this story? What the hey is corn swabble? Ah!
Whoa!
Applewolf said,
frying
taking
pan!
the frying pan sword across
Sorry,
the
my
room,
voice cracked.
nearly
The
hitting
frying
her
pan, the
head.
most destructive of weapons. Oh god, she has an arsenal. Jesus.
Get out of here! Ow!
Damn.
Not without your apple. Ow! I'm not leaving here before I. Ow!
Talk about out of the frying pan and into the next frying pan.
Out! Out!
Ow!
Yes? How many does she have?
Just Granny, where are all these coming from? Quite a strong hoof for such an old pony. Hey!
Applewolf said, just as one of the frying pans hit her square on the nose. Granny smirked and nodded her head, reaching for another pan, but finding the cupboard bare.
Oh,
So,
shit. I knew
so
I should have
Penny.
gone with the 100-piece set on them things.
what?
Finally!
Applewolf said, growling again as she leapt across the room towards Granny.
Oh jeez.
A few hours passed, and Little Red Riding Bloom finally made her way to her granny's cottage. As she skipped towards the front door, some of the many wildflowers she had collected trailed behind her. She hadn't intended to stay in the meadow for so long, but the more flowers she found, the more she wanted to collect them. By the time she was finished, the meadow had practically been picked clean.
Alright.
She knocked happily at her granny's door.
Granny? Granny, are you here?
Anything can happen
It's me,
in the
Little
woods.
There was a long
God damn it.
silence followed by the sound of a bed creaking, but no reply.
Granny?
Little Red Riding Bloom asked, pushing open the door and inviting herself in.
Yeah,
Did you forget I was coming?
apparently Granny is used to people barging in.
I'm in here.
Applewolf said, trying her
Oh,
best
dear.
to make a Granny impression.
Oh,
She had
Applejack.
stolen Granny's nightcap and hidden under the covers of her bed, hoping to
Oh,
fool
Applejack,
the
my
filly.
dear.
Little Red pushed open the bedroom door curiously.
There you are. What you doing in bed so early? It's barely sunset, Granny.
I've been real tired from all that apple bucking.
But you don't apple buck your own trees, Granny. You have it for years now.
Well, I thought I'd give it a try this year. What you got in that basket there?
Oh, I bought you some sweets for Mama.
on me. We made some fritters and
I haven't said it yet, but
and
Apple Bloom
canned
looks
apples
adorable with
and
that
cake.
hood.
Keep him here, youngin'.
Applewolf insisted, trying not to look or sound too desperate, despite the fact that she was beginning to drool.
Well, the thing is,
So
I
hungry.
don't really have any more of them.
What?
Well, you see, I met this wolf who showed me a meadow of really good-looking flowers and said I should pick some for ya. Only thing is, I needed something to nibble on while Alan was picking them,
Oh,
and I
dear.
guess I accidentally ate them all. I have a lot of flowers, though.
Flowers? I can't eat flowers. I'm a the old pony. Flowers mess with the old digestive system.
Applewolf's sudden outburst caused Little Red to take a closer look at her granny, and she hesitated.
Oh, are they going to ask the
Ah,
lines?
what big eyes you have, Granny.
Here we go.
All right, this bit. The better to see you with, my dear.
What big hooves you got.
The better to pick apples with, my dear.
And
What big ears you got.
The better to hear about you gobbling up all my apple treats with.
What a big flank you got.
Flank? You can't even see my flank. Besides, I'd say Rarity's flank is far bigger than...
What a big eagle you got.
Now that there's just plain rude.
What big teeth you got.
Ugh! I can't take this anymore. I'm not your granny. See? I'm the wolf.
Applejack thinks Rarity has a big
Where you got
flank.
her? Did you gobble her up?
Little Red cried, dropping her basket of flowers and backing into the wall across the room.
Gobble her up? I don't gobble up ponies. I gobble apples. And I was supposed to gobble those treats you had. But you went and ate them up yourself.
Help! Help! The wolf's gonna eat me!
Little Red cried, running away from Applewolf towards the door.
So who's gonna be the
You
hunter?
hear me? I don't eat ponies. I eat apples. Come back.
Apples.
Applewolf responded, pursuing Little Red before she could
Screw
alert
it.
other ponies.
Buy some apples. There, I
All of
said
them
it.
ran around the little cottage,
Big
causing
Mac.
quite
Huh.
a ruckus, which caught the attention of Lumbermac, who was passing by.
Lumbermac.
Axe in hoof, he rushed into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong.
What's going on in here?
Pinkie,
Pinkie, what are you doing?
what are you doing?
Well, I wasn't in the store yet, so I figured I'd be the lumberjack who saves the day. Also, how weird is it that they're called lumberjacks, and yet that's not the part that Applejack is playing?
No, Pinkie, this is supposed to be Lumbermac's part. Where is he?
Did you tie him up?
Nowhere. He's nowhere. He
Mm-hmm.
must have quit or something. He didn't show up. Yep, that's my story, and I'm sticking to
Aha.
Pinkie, where did you hide him?
That story is as thick as a
Why
wet
do you
paper.
think I hit him? Oh, that's something else.
Did you gobble
Dummy
Big Mac?
is, at the dentist, and he doesn't like it.
Aha.
Dummy doesn't have teeth, Pinkie.
But I wanted to be in the story.
Oh, goodness.
Pinkie, let Lumbermac go right now.
Fine, but I still think I would have been a better lumberjack. Lumber pie.
Pinkie!
God damn it. Pinkie, it's gotta be your time soon.
Anyway, axe and hoof, Lumbermac
Damn!
rushed into Granny's cottage to see what was wrong. When he got inside, he found Little Red Riding Bloom assaulting Applewolf with a little wicker basket.
Oh, thanks, Celestia! Get this little filly away from me.
Applewolf shouted, hiding behind Lumbermac and clinging to his back hooves in fear.
She killed Granny!
Little Red Riding Bloom insisted, trying to get past Lumbermac, who held her a hoof length away from Applewolf.
I did no such thing. If you would just listen to me,
Where is
From the doorway,
Oh, there she
Lumbermac
is.
and Little Red could see Granny, holding the frying
Where
pan
were
in
you
her
this
mouth
entire
and
time?
hauling a large cart of frying pans packaged together, reading, 120 frying pan
Oh,
set,
God.
great for keeping out unwanted guests.
That's scarily accurate.
Yeah.
Pinkie, you're still in trouble. Go back to the bad Pinkie corner.
Aww.
The bad
What
Pinkie
in
corner.
tarnation happened in here?
Granny
did you
asked,
come from?
looking at the horrendous state of her cottage.
But Granny, I thought the wolf had gotten you.
Ha! A wolf past me? No such thing, little one. Now you
you go on and get the broom from the closet and start sweeping up. Lumbermac?
Yeah.
Y'all can start picking up the furniture.
Yep.
What do we do with the wolf?
Don't you worry none, youngin'. I've got something in mind for her.
Uh-huh.
So
She's gonna be
Granny,
the guard
Little
dog.
Red, and Lumbermac tidied the little cottage and restacked the frying pans in their proper place. When
All of them.
Applewolf finally came around, Granny convinced her to work as a guard for her little orchard,
Oh, my dear.
protecting the apples from pests and thieves alike. In exchange, Granny and Little Red would bake her all kinds of apple goods to satisfy her hunger. But if Applewolf ever decided to get out of line or eat the apples herself, Lumbermac wasn't too far away with a frying pan ready.
Meh.
Little Red Riding Bloom learned never to stray from the path, and to stock up on cookware in case of an emergency.
Yeah, Pinkie wasn't joking at the beginning.
And they all lived happily
Happily ever after.
Get
God damn
it? Because they're apples? Oh, shh.
Oh, goodness,
Sleep.
Pinkie.
Good night, little ponies.
Good
See
night.
you next time for some more Pinkie Tales.
Yeah. Oh, that was fun. It's always interesting to see what kind of... Oh, that was Pinkie Rose's bloom. Wupcake. A purple Rosalind. Cool. And of course, Mac. And Pegasus Pitch delivered the 2 lines. Oh, my dear. But that was nice. Next time, the 3 little pigs and the big bad Rary Wolf. Ah, dear. That's gonna be very interesting. Oh, check out the beanstalk. Already seen that. Alright, but yeah, it's always fun and interesting to see what paths they will take these classic fairy tales. Like what things they're going to change. What things they will try to remain the same. What things they will poke fun at. Because I've noticed that is a thing that they do in these kind of videos. They like poke a little bit at the story. It's like, why do they do this? And that doesn't make much sense. Like they do kind of that with these stories, which I understand because logic doesn't really exist in some of these fairy tales. But that's kind of the point of fairy tales. They're not supposed to be logical. They're supposed to be fantastical in their own ways, of course. And even if they're not 100% like logical, they don't make sense that much, they still do their thing. That's why they have remained such popular and strong stories for all of these years. Yeah. Red Riding Hood, that was like there are many versions of that story, and I remember correctly that the original Grimm tale, Brothers Grimm, those were the guys who first wrote the original story. If I remember correctly, that was very brutal as Grimm fairy tales used to be. But yeah, this was fun. I know I didn't say much, but I enjoyed it. That's like, for me, that's the most important part, that I enjoyed this video. It was fun, it was cute, and it was interesting hearing Goody narrate, because I haven't really heard him narrate that much. I heard him narrate the story on his channel where like there was like this weird, like Apple Bloom was in her home and there was this weird Fluttershy thing that was always looking at her through her window and she wasn't supposed to let her in. That was a scary story. Yeah, I think that's it. Thank you all for watching, my dear friends. Please tell me in the comments below what you thought about this video, my reaction, and my entire channel in general. Please tell me both positive and negative, so I can use it all to grow and evolve into a better entertainer for you guys. And the Magpie, if you came by, I hope you enjoyed it. So, thank you all for watching, my dear friends. My name has been JohnnyFerno, and I'll see you guys next time.